everything pulled up before this. Sorry, that was really gross. Anyway, let's see. Okay, cool. Anyway, alright, cool. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the weekly reaction to UnOrdinary, brought to you by Uru-chan. So, welcome spiritual, welcome person, welcome extended, welcome Duan. I'm doing great today, guys. I hope you guys have all had an awesome day as well. So, yeah. So, guys, today's episode is going to be mad wild. And I mean mad wild. What is up, Solo? Welcome. Welcome, Tube Noob. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed your shout out in the review and discussion for 292. So, real quick recap of what we are getting into today with episode, or recap of what happened last week in 293. So, yeah, it has been a while, Extended. I'm glad you're here, buddy. I'm glad you're here. So, last week, Blake and John were both in their rooms in their dorm, just kind of reflecting on current updates that they have gotten, basically. Blake was in his room thinking about what happened with John and Sarah as he was looking over his pants. Welcome, LaCake. Welcome. Welcome, Animation. Good to see you guys here. So Blake was going over what he could have suspected was going on with John and Sarah, seeing that they were undamaged but not having their ability back, clearly knowing that they got in a fight somehow based on the damage to their pants. Meanwhile, John was in his room seemingly reading the manuscript of UnOrdinary that William wrote for him and thinking on if Blake and Remy could actually be vigilantes, since only vigilantes keep copies of UnOrdinary. Welcome, Mercer. Welcome. Guys, I had a big lunch today. I'm probably going to burp a lot. I'm sorry if it's gross. So, yeah. So, in the morning, John saw Blake getting ready for school and basically was like, hey, are you guys vigilantes? What's going on? And Blake was just like, fuck it. Can't hide anything from him. And basically just said, how about a fair trade? You guys tell us what's going on with you guys. We'll tell you what we've been up to. And they did. So, Ison and Remy showed up to Blake's dorm after school as well to meet up with John, Blake, and Sarah. And they basically exchanged information. Sarah and John basically said, we were ambushed by Ember. No, that's not what happened. They were trying to steal a recovery machine from Spectre to get their abilities back. But they couldn't get through with it. And John ended up destroying the recovery machine closest to them. Meanwhile, Remy, Blake, and Ison kind of told them. John also mentioned the ability converters, and that tipped off Remy as to how Valerie was able to conceal her ability when they encountered each other way back when. And basically, they kind of filled John in on their situation with being vigilantes as well. And Remy also mentioned to John that Ecstatic was her brother, whom John remembered what he said about Ray, basically saying that Ray could go to hell. And seemingly John felt really bad about that. He didn't apologize yet. I am still really hoping that he does. Welcome, Daniel. Welcome. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, Ison then asked if there was a possible way, or Remy then asked that there has to be another recovery machine out there, even if it's not close by, or Sarah said that there wouldn't be one close by, and Ison asked if they would know someone who does know where even a faraway machine is located. I am thinking that they're probably going to contact Layla and see if Neil is down to give them his, if he's the one who they're going to go with. Because Neil is pretty down with taking out Orin as well. Then we cut to Wellston University, where Kaden and Kuyo were taking a chem test, and they got really good scores, and Kaden wanted to celebrate, and Kuyo just said, all right, cool, first round's on me. So real quick, before we jump into the chapter, I do want to read what you guys are saying. 2 out of 3 got tiers share their bit about UnOrdinary and the high tiers. No, Trio knows about converter. Yep. Also, why the fuck did Sarah always make John pay for boba? I think John offered to pay for boba, and also, like, let's be real, back then Sarah was always covering John's back. So yeah, it makes sense. It's not necessarily okay, but it makes sense. Hey, no problem, Extended. No problem. Totally understandable. I hope you're doing better now, man. So, yeah. All right. Also, when will Remy think back to Vulcan? Remy has never thrown. Remy doesn't. Remy, I'm fine. I'm fine with not everyone being like a physical fighter. Like Remy relies on her ability, and that's Remy also doesn't need to throw a punch. She controls lightning. She really doesn't. Remy really doesn't need to get physical. Okay, but let's jump into this. Here we go. It is live. So here we go. Wellston University. Yes! Thank you, Professor Darren. Oh, hey, nice. We got the same score. All that studying paid off. This calls for a celebration. How about drinks after class? Sure. First round's on me. Here we go, guys. I'm sure at least half of this episode will be focused on Kuyo and Kaden. So, here we go. So, ding! Oh, wait, I don't think they're at a bar. I think they literally are just getting drinks. So, that was a really pathetic burp. Hold up. I can do something. I'm doing a burp because Kaden burps in this episode. Hold up. Okay, that's as good as we're getting. It's finally over. Oh, this week sucked. Fuck Orgo. I think he's talking about organic chemistry. You can relax now. If he's really part of the same organization as that murderer, then why would he care about becoming a healer? That was a good one. Kaden, why are you studying pre-med? Did your parents force you? My parents? My parents? Nah, they died ages ago. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Oh, it's fine. I have a guardian who treats me really well. Layla? Guardian? Yeah, he... Oh, probably Neil then. Maybe? Who knows? Yeah, he's taken care of me since I was a teen. And he's the one funding my studies now. I'm really grateful to him. Neil. Good dude, Neil. Let's go. So it's a quick flashback of like a younger Kaden in like in a yellow sweatshirt. He looks styling. And Neil. I love Neil's look. He looks so cool. He's kind of like Vaughn actually. He got the goatee going, but like shorter hair. Anyway, my ability isn't combative, so I didn't think I could become much. But he gave me confidence in my intellect. I want to use my smarts to give back. And Kuyo's just like, oh. I don't believe our future should depend solely on what ability we were born with. Everyone has plenty of talents to offer. He's reminding Kuyo of Ray. That's the kind of stuff Ray would always preach about. You remember that chem whiz I told you about? Yeah. He doesn't even use his ability, and I've seen him practically bring people back to life with his tonics. Why would you say that, Kaden? Bring people back to life, huh? You sure mentioned this guy a lot. Ugh. Is that where you really took John and Sarah after they were stabbed? You said you took them to a hospital. He's sharp! Well, he works at the hospital. Then why not just call him a doctor instead of a chem whiz? Why are you such a busybody? Quit interrogating me. What about you? You're a high tier. With your skills, you could easily be doing anything else. Why are you studying so hard? And Kuyo just keeps his eye on him. Similar to you. I want to prove that high tiers with physical advantages don't have to be fighting all the time. And Kaden just, We could be healers too. Hell yeah! Drink to that! He seems to genuinely care about people. Could he be putting up an act? Kuyo, you sure like to pry into other people's business, don't you? He does, because he went to recruit Blake, Remy, and Ison. Oh, I guess, okay. Okay. I should have expected this. Kaden's not dumb. He's not stupid. He's not easily manipulated. He's sharp to his own senses. So I should have expected that Kuyo getting information out of him wouldn't be too easy the first go around. All right. Back at Wellston. Wellston Private High School. And John and Sarah just walking around. And John just ... John, are you okay? You've been pretty quiet since yesterday. Sarah, I feel like an idiot. All this time I kept wishing for there to be more vigilantes. But when they actually presented themselves in front of me, Remy, Blake, and Ison. She fucking did it. There has to be something here. So he's thinking of Remy, Blake, and Ison. Now here's the thing. It's only their backs. We were showing their backs. She usually does this, sometimes when someone's thinking about people, but it's not a flashback. Now, from the perspective of Remy, Blake, and Ison, if they were facing forward, it would go Blake, Remy, Ison. But the way they're presented, it goes Ison on our right side, Remy in the middle, and Blake... Wait. From right to left, it goes Ison, Remy, Blake. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's because Jack Queen King? I don't know. Uru, what are you doing here? But when they actually presented themselves in front of me, not only was I too blind to recognize it, I spent all my energy trying to take them down. What a fucking embarrassment. Sarah's, John, you can't keep being mad at yourself like this. What's important is that you aren't enemies with them anymore. And John just ... By the way, Sarah, you didn't seem surprised when they told us everything. Oh, I've known for a while. Since back when Ison, Arlo, and I first started discussing Spectre. What? You knew for that long and you never said anything? The topic never came up till yesterday. Plus, you weren't exactly in the right state of mind. Very fair. Very fair, John. That's very fair of Sarah. Holy fuck! You're telling me even Arlo knows? I'm so behind on everything. How much did I miss? John, it's okay. We'll catch you up. No, it isn't. My dad had to write a whole book just to get my head out of my ass. And I sat on it like a fucking coward. If those three can put their lives on the line, then what the hell is my excuse? Sarah, I don't want to feel ashamed anymore. One day I'll become someone I can be proud of. I fucking love that. I love that about John. John's whole thing is literally just how much he's hated himself throughout the series. And even in this episode, he just keeps being down on himself. And he said before, he wants to be a better person. He said recently he wants to improve. He wants to, like, you know, he still has a ways to go. He still loses his temper sometimes. But he said, he's always said, like, I want to try and be better. This time he said, I want to be someone. He's not doing it for anyone else. He's not doing it for Sarah. It's not for his dad. It's not for Remy, Blake, and Ison. It's not for anyone else. It's for him. I want to be someone I can be proud of. God. Best fucking character in the series. This is why John is a god tier character. And anyone who says otherwise, I will fight you in the streets. Anyway, Sarah just looking at him, smiling, just like, yeah, that's my best friend. We are getting an Arlo update. So Arlo's just walking around. Chatter, chatter, chatter. And someone bumps into Arlo. Oh, he's tired. I thought he was going to snap. He's tired. Whoops. Sorry, Arlo. We're in a rush. Is he okay? He seems pretty irritable lately. I don't know. Are those bags under his eyes? I thought he was going to snap. He's just tired. School. Work. And more work. What am I supposed to do about those three? Where do I find the time? Okay, so he is contemplating on what he should do with them. Oh, shit. So Ison, Blake, and Remy are up for expulsion and readjustment. Readjustment was obvious. Probably because they're lower height. That's right. The authorities don't have Blake's updated ability. So, Remy, according to the authorities, Remy is a lower high tier. She's a 5.4. Uru updated us about Blake's ability level update, so I'm sure she would update us about anyone else's. Ison and Blake are just elite tiers. It makes sense that two god tiers like John and Sarah, they would be like, no, like, we need them on our side. Like, don't expel them. We just need to get them adjust. Because I'm pretty sure expulsion wasn't an option for Sarah. But Cassandra is set on taking Vaughn down. They're set on taking Vaughn down. Or Cassandra is set on taking Vaughn down. And she said that she's going to make sure someone worthy is sitting on Wellston's headmaster seat. Someone who will probably do what they want and expel the three of them. So, yeah. Authorities already know what they've been up to. So it won't be long till they close in on them. But what troubles me the most are those readjustment classes. He knows. 224 safe house. Pushes open the door. And he sees... Oh, Dylan! Gotta be honest, I fucking forgot that Dylan exists. Morning, Arlo. Haven't seen you in a while. And John just sitting there like, He's seen John. He's seen John's file? Yeah, that makes sense. Completed readjustment. Future penalties pending. Oh yeah, they do have John's updated records. And they have his updated look, too, actually. Huh. That's kind of weird. And and again, like, involvement with the book UnOrdinary. His dad wrote the book. You should all fucking know that. The authorities should fucking know that. So, Arlo's just staring down at John. He's probably gonna like ask him like, "Hey, we need to talk." So John just, "What the hell are you looking at? Can we talk for a minute?" Okay. Not ending yet. Damn, you look like shit. I don't have time to argue today. Then spit it out. What do you want? I need to ask you something. What happens during those readjustment classes? And John just, how the hell do you know about that? UnOrdinary episode 294. End. The outcome of this conversation is almost entirely dependent on Arlo. John really doesn't like talking about the readjustment classes, but he wants to help Blyke, Remy, and Ison now. He wants to work together with them. If Arlo's his usual self and like tries to push further and further, clearly that's not going to work. If he probably tells John, and he really should tell John, hey, the authorities, like, they're looking to send Remy, Blyke, and Ison there. Like, if Arlo actually tries to communicate for once, that's not really fair to Arlo. He's communicated before. Anyway, if Arlo tries to communicate to John for once and tell him, and like basically tell like, this is why I need to know, John may be a lot more willing to be like, it's not something I like talking about, but this is what happened to me. So yeah. And right when John was talking about being better for himself too, I really hope John follows through with that, with what he said. And it's just like, this is what happens. I don't like talking about it. And exactly, he's tired and worn out. He is probably on a short fuse. Exactly, Solo. No, 90% of the problems in UnOrdinary stem from Arlo being a bitch. Anyway, but yeah. And that's the thing. Vaughn doesn't even know. He tried asking Keon about it, but Keon was like, you don't need to know about that, bro. Chill. Just let me take him to readjustment classes. John is the only person who knows. He's the only one who knows what happens. Keon did mention it differs from person to person, though. So yeah. Arlo better not bring any of that usual condescending tone. I mean, like Solo said, Arlo's on a short fuse right now because he's tired. I wouldn't be surprised if he does bring a lot more than just that. No, I don't think that's necessarily true, Solo. Like, I think a lot more has to happen for Arlo to lose faith in his aunt. Cause like, here's the thing about Arlo. To us, the audience, yeah, that's a good point. That's a very fair point, Cole. The thing about Arlo's case is we can clearly see, based on the things that Uru has set up in the past, that Arlo's aunt means a lot to him, and she's been with him ever since he was a child. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there was a reveal that Valerie is the one who raised him, but I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure Arlo was raised by his parents. Yeah, that's also a fair point, J Knight. Um, but you can't just go up to a person who has a connection like that, with especially with family, and you can't just tell them, hey, your aunt's a murderer. Of course they're not going to believe you. Everything about Arlo right now is making sense. Like, it makes sense that he's, like, not wanting to believe that his aunt is a horrible person and, like, feeding into the corruption of the authorities. Arlo was also raised to trust the authorities, and the authorities, the authorities did show up to Rowden Hill. Like, they showed up because high tiers were in danger. So it makes sense. Everything Arlo is going through right now is making sense. So, yeah. Is this going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back for Arlo? I don't think so. Arlo's going to need real hard confirmation that Now, Arlo's faith in the authorities, I would say, yeah, that's probably already shaken. Arlo's faith and trust in his aunt, not a chance. Arlo needs, like, full-on hard evidence that Valerie was the one who killed Ray, more than just, like, stuff that's happening right now in the story. So, yeah. We also don't know if what Remy will go through. We also don't know if what John went through is exactly what Remy and the others will go through. I could see Remy being readjusted by Keon using Ray, like making her relive the memories of his passing and, like, his funeral and all that. Is that how Uru's gonna make us show us, like, what Remy was going through way back then? Huh. But if Remy, Blyke, and Ison are expelled, that does mean that John and Sarah would have to go back to being king. Arlo doesn't want to be Jack. Cecile's doesn't want to be either. So, I mean, I guess Zeke would jump at that opportunity, but he is also kind of like, I'm better than everyone right now. I'm better than everyone at Wellston. Huh. Question of the day. How do you think Blyke and Ison would be readjusted? Like I said, I could see Keon being in charge of Remy's readjustment by making her relive the trauma of, like, her experience when Ray died, and being like, this is, like, what's going to happen to you. Do you want this to happen to you? Blah, blah, blah. Unless Keon somehow has the ability to make a person relive other people's memories, Who knows? That's not what Claire said at all, Red Master. That's true. But Red Master, that's not what Claire said at all. Claire didn't tell John anything about her visions, about the vision she saw when they met again. She said nothing about what she saw. She was talking about her visions in general, and she just said nothing good comes from them. Clearly, like referencing like what John became as a result of her telling her about her visions and everything. Like, yeah, like that's. Yeah, like, she was just talking about John in general, not that the vision she saw then wasn't good. But yeah. Very interesting episode, Uru. Very good episode. I really liked this episode a lot. Like I said when I read through that part, I really should have gave Kaden more credit, because Kaden is quick to, like, you know, cover his tracks and everything. So I should have expected that Kuyo getting information out of him wasn't going to be easy. So yeah. Yeah, that does seem to be the case with Neil Solo. So, yeah. Overall, great episode, Uru. Thank you so much for your hard work. But yeah, that'll be it for today. Not too much else to talk about, if I'm being honest. So yeah, let me know what you guys all thought about the episode down below. Review and discussion will be out soon for episode 294. Episode 300 is just 6 more weeks away. Oh yeah, didn't it say he was a student at Wellston University? Like a 7. I'd say that's about how dead he looked. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this reaction. I certainly enjoyed the episode. Let me know your guys' thoughts about everything down below. And as always, see you, Space Cowboy.